Experts say involving private firms will send already record costs even higher. Annie Saputra has more on who's funding these missions and just how much has already been spent.
An unprecedented search and rescue effort. Given the scale of the search operation for MH370, analysts estimate that the $50 million spent on the 2-year probe into Air France Flight 447, the previous record, appears to have been easily surpassed after just 4 weeks.
From my experience and from what I've been involved with, this would be without doubt the most expensive search that I know of by a long way.
Noel, who has 21 years of experience in search and rescue efforts with the Australian police, explains that the longest search he was involved in lasted for a week with 2 small aircraft and 2 ships, and that cost over $200,000. While the Joint Agency Coordination Center that oversees the search operation has not released the cost of the search, most of the financial burden will be borne by the countries who have contributed their forces. For example, Australia deployed a Navy replenishment vessel, HMAS Success. It costs over $500,000 Australian a day to operate, and that is just a single ship. The US Department of Defense set aside $4 million to help the search, but already spent over $7 million to date. While China, that has deployed up to 9 vessels in the search operation so far, and many other countries that have deployed aircraft and ships are not releasing the cost of operation. The fact that the investigators were looking in the wrong place in the early days of the search also contributed to the cost. And as the search moved underwater, 4,500 meters deep, where specialized equipment will be needed, the cost will even be higher.
We will not scale down. And this is a promise that I made to the families of the passengers, and we will continue. But as we move forward, and there might be occasions where some of the countries might want to scale down, there are other countries that have come forward. And we just have to find creative ways to do that.
This sense of responsibility is shared by many of the countries involved, and this operation has been a shining example of multinational cooperation. But as the search goes on, the governments involved will have to make a tough decision on whether to keep bearing the extraordinary cost of the search. Andy Saputra, CCTV, Perth, Western Australia.